I'm Jay-Z.
I'm Daniel.
This is Just My DIY.
Several years ago, I met a special someone.
That's me.
A couple weeks ago, I proposed to that special someone.
I said yes.
And we've been trying to figure out how to tell the world ever since.
We came up with so many great DIY ideas to announce our engagement, and we couldn't pick just one. So we narrowed it down to our 6 favorite, and we're going to show you how to do those in this video.
We have some no-tech methods. We have some high-tech methods. And of course, we have some methods that involve puppies.
Yay! There is a lot for us to cover, so we propose that you stick with us throughout this video.
We're going to do the no-tech letterboard announcement, 2 different styles.
So we're going to do what's called a flat lay, which is where everything's laying down flat. So we're going to put some fabric down and then start putting some letters on the letterboard. There's so many different sayings you can use, but we're going to do our 2 favorite here. This letterboard we got at Hobby Lobby, but the next one we got on Amazon, and we will definitely link that below. But anytime you're doing a flat lay, just play with textures and colors and have a lot of fun. So now we get to bring in the extra elements. We put a roll of tape underneath a champagne bottle to keep it from rolling around. Threw in some beautiful flowers that we got at Michael's. Put the ring box down and then came in the corner with the ring to take some photos, which we'll show you in just a minute. This next one, we're actually going to play with some textures here. So we got a nice white fuzzy rug, got this gold foil decoration from Dollar Tree. This letterboard was from Amazon, and how cute does that already look together, but we're going to add in a few more things. We got to get that ring box as well as the champagne because this is what we had on hand, and more photos. And now we'll show you how they turned out.
Picture perfect.
Aww.
So now we're going to move on to using the dogs with bandanas. We got these from Michael's.
And so we're going to grab our Caesar Easy Weed, of course, shiny side down for HTV, and we're going to go ahead and do the black and white on the same Cricut mat. We're not going to spend a lot of time in this tutorial video overall on the computer. If you want to see anything in detail, please let us know and we'll do a full video on whatever project people ask about the most. But for now, we always check our cuts before we eject our mat from our Cricut. That way, if they don't cut all the way through, you can send them back through. We don't need to do that, so we go ahead and weed our designs and get ready to put them on the bandanas.
We're going to pull out a Hippo mini press and use this handy dandy lint roller to lint roll the bandanas. Iron them flat with the Hippo press once it's warmed up. And give it a nice crease line so we can tell where our center fold is.
And then taco the design right onto that line and press for about 30 seconds in each spot. The mini press is on medium.
A little awkward moment between us.
So Caesar Easy Weed was a nice hot peel with that one. So we made the first bandana. Now we just have to make the second, have a hot peel.
And we have our dogs sponsoring us. Look at it. Look at it. Rhodey's grumpy. Look at it.
He's happy. He just always looks that way.
But now we're going to go into the adhesive vinyl mug set.
So for this, we are using the Cricut Shimmer vinyl, which is just so luxurious looking. We really, really like this, but it is a little finicky to put on. So we are going to show you our tricks to getting this on the transfer tape. As always, check that cut before we eject and then start to weed. Now we are going to do these mugs front and back, that way they can face either way. So that's why we have 2 of each designs.
Of course, to prep for it, we have to clean the human off the mug. And
then balance the mugs to make sure that we can put it on. Now here's the big thing with the Cricut Shimmer vinyl. You need the strong grip transfer tape. This is the only transfer tape that will actually stick to the stuff. Scrape it down front and back and then peel the backing away from the design. That's how you get this stuff on the transfer tape before you place it down on your mug. Scrape it to adhere.
And peel your transfer tape off. Feel free to reuse this transfer tape over and over and over again. It retained its stickiness throughout all of these and more. Now, we have some mugs that go along with the Jeep.
and say that's what she said.
Another way to do a mug using sublimation.
You knew we had to do a sublimation project in this. So we're going to do something a little different here, and we're going to have a different front and back to this mug just so we can get even more photo opportunities out of it. Now, we're not going to spend a lot of time on the computer again, but always make sure you mirror your sublimation prints, and we will reiterate our print settings that we use, which is premium presentation paper matte, best quality, because we're printing on an Epson Eco Tank that has been converted for sublimation.
Once we have it printed out, we're going to trim it down to size using our Martha ruler on a self-healing cutting mat with an X-Acto knife. Now we have the mug here. As usual, and previously mentioned, we clean the human off of it with some alcohol, or greasy little things. And we take great care in aligning this on the mug so that we can keep both images centered on the faces we care to be showing. And once we feel we've got it there, we use our heat-resistant tape set up with little fast-peeling tabs.
We basically just fold the tape over on one end to make it easy to pull.
I was thinking about copy reading that. We use some copy paper as our blowout and skillfully, carefully, diligently squeeze it into the Cricut Mug Press.
It does fit, it's just tight.
And get your hair out of the way and use all the power you have.
The mug press will time itself, it will beep when it's ready, and then with your heat resistant glove, pull it out.
Peel the hot quick tab. Patent pending. And admire your handiwork.
As you see, we get so many different photos out of this one mug, which is just so much fun.
So now we have our sweet cupcake announcement. Oh my God.
We're going to be using Johnson Plastics Plus Craft Plastic. This is like a really thin acrylic. We did put some 3M adhesive on the back of one of them, and we are going to cut this on the Cricut Maker. Now, a few things about this. It does require the knife blade. So you definitely have to have the Maker or the new Maker that they have out now. So we get our designs all set up. You don't have to mirror anything, but the setting that you will select is art/illustration board. Know that this will be 17 passes with the knife blade. We should have taped this down more because our material did end up shifting even on a strong grip mat. So you'll see what happened because of that, but know that we have successfully cut this on the Cricut Maker before, just not this time.
But the convenient thing about screwing up on the Cricut with this craft plastic is that you can also use the craft plastic in your Glowforge laser.
Yes, which is what we ended up doing, because you see it can bend, but if you bend it too much it will break if it's really thin, and that's what we did there. So after a visit to the Glowforge, we had our pieces.
Yeah, it came out a lot better. So we peeled the...
We don't show there is a film on the front of this as well.
But what we are showing is peeling off the sticky backing from the tape that we put on it.
Mm-hmm.
And once you press it, it's done, so get it right the first time.
There's no moving it.
And now we're making our cupcake...
Wrapper.
That's what I was going to say.
So we're doing 2 layers, so it's pink on the outside, white on the inside. We found this design file on Design Bundles.
I had the pleasure of decorating the top of this cupcake, and then we put the wrapper around it, and we stab the OMG into it, and make some beautiful pictures.
So sweet.
Just like you.
Oh, okay. Our last project is a round wood sign. We couldn't not have a round wood sign, so.
Gonna sand the living daylights out of it, something like a 220 grit, and
don't forget the edges as well. And after you're done sanding, you'll want to get all the sanding dust off of it.
Pull out the kind of stain that you care to use. Mix, don't shake.
Mm-hmm. And we like to apply with a shop towel. You can use an old t-shirt or some other kind of cloth, but shop towel works great for us. Once it is fully stained, you're going to want to let that sit for 24 hours before pulling out the frog tape.
You set your frog tape up in a clean and clear line, especially on the side you care to protect. Once you have that fully protected, pull out some Mod Podge.
This is our secret to getting a crisp paint line on wood. You'll want to paint this on there, and we go across the whole thing just so it's a nice even layer. But you'll paint the Mod Podge on and wait 15 minutes, watching for drips, of course.
After that 15 minutes, we're pulling out some chalk paint and applying healthfully, thoroughly,
evenly. Chalk paint can be a little unforgiving, but as long as you're even with your coats, it will turn out beautifully. It's matte, it's smooth, just as long as you don't go too hard with brush strokes on it.
But before it dries, 15 minutes into it or so, you give it the wet peel so you can get a clean line without peeling anything else up.
Look at how straight that line is. We're going to go back to the craft plastic again. So this is what a full sheet of the craft plastic looks like. And this is how we adhere the 3M tape to it. Again, everything we use will be linked below, including our Glowforge. So if you're in the market for a Glowforge, we have a referral code down in the description, which will give you up to $500 off your purchase, as well as give us something in return.
Certainly a lot faster than going to the Cricut.
So fast on the Glowforge.
And it weeds so easily.
Just falls right out.
Now this is what we're talking about on the front of the craft plastic, having a plastic protector for the craft plastic. So we have to peel that off.
And we like to use that negative from where we cut it. We use that as our template, so especially with the letters that are not scripts, we can get that perfect spacing and alignment. This is a great little trick that we learned, and we'll just never do anything without that negative.
Now we're going to go to our crafting closet and pull out our hot glue guns and popsicle sticks and random floral weirdness that we have laying around.
Some of these pieces we've had in the drawer for a bit, those burlap leaves, these extra little leaves. The flowers themselves we got at Michael's because they have some wonderful real touch flowers that we really like. So we're going to put this one in the middle. I think it's called an Orlane Rose. And then we're going to use...
Technically they're called Phalaenopsis, but a lot of times they're just called moth orchid.
So we put those on with the hot glue gun, and the way that we like to attach our florals is actually with command adhesive, the kind that acts a little bit like Velcro. That way we can take the florals off if we're transporting or want to put the florals on something else. It just gives you a lot of flexibility. So add that command adhesive onto it and press down once we're sure it's centered.
Time for some pictures with...
happy dogs.
And, well, yes, that is very convincing.
We had so much fun making this video and hope it gave you some DIY ideas to announce your engagement.
Now, if you had a favorite announcement idea, then go ahead and list it out in the comment line. Of course, if you like the video, you should click the like button, subscribe, ring the bell, and of course know that everything we use to do this is listed in the description.
Also in the description are links to all of our social handles. Please connect with us across platforms. We love hearing from you. And don't forget to check out our blog at justmightdiy.com. Thanks for watching.